Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Johnny, and welcome to episode 75 of the Travel Like a Boss podcast. I'm really excited to have Anton Kraly back on the show, and we're going to be announcing the 2015 Thailand Dropship Lifestyle Retreat. Hey, Anton.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me on. You know, I figured this is where we announced it last year, where I came up with the idea, so why not do it again?
Yeah, so just a quick reminder of everyone, how did you come up with that first one, kind of just randomly on air?
Yeah, it was last year. You and I were down in Koh Lanta doing some diving. I did like a weekend-long dive trip, and we were recording a podcast on the beach, talking about how great life was down there, and thinking about, well, kind of sound like a dick here, talking about how good my life is, when I'd invite everyone else out here to enjoy this with us, and decided to set up a little page to see who was interested, and it ended up being the retreat last year. So, yep.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was originally, so if you guys want to go back to the episode, I'm gonna try to find the number now, but it's basically, it was supposed to be like 10 people would show up. We really didn't know how many people were gonna come, and ended up being 120 people.
Yep.
Yeah, and literally from all around the world, people flew out. And the crazy thing is, and I'm very active on your member forums, and even though I'd spoken to a lot of these people, there's a lot that never posted, but they follow along, they have successful stores, and they just wanted to meet everyone live. And in person, they're super honest and super open, and they would just kind of share everything. But I guess some people just don't have the personality where they don't want to post online that much.
Yeah, and it's something I mention all the time. We do have lots of members, lots of successful members, and just lots of people that are actually on the forum every day that aren't posting. They're just reading. They're following stories. And maybe, I don't know, they don't want to share. They don't feel comfortable. I know when I first got into using forums, I was kind of the same way. Like, you don't want to, you kind of feel like you're intruding on someone else's space if you're totally new to a group and it's kind of an established community. But there are all these people that, even now with this year's retreat, I'm seeing people register for it. And I'm like, okay, I don't recognize this name. I don't recognize that name. And they're people that, they're successful members that have been around for a while, but I haven't got to meet them yet. So it really is a cool experience, not only to meet people that you've been networking with on the forum, but also to meet people that are on the same journey as you that you didn't even know existed until you see them out in Thailand. So really cool.
Yeah, so I actually just pulled up all the old episodes, and I think on episode 51, that's when we actually talk about the retreat and kind of launch it. But I think it was episode 28, which was actually entitled Vacation Like a Boss, Passive Income Underwater. I think that's when you first had brought it up.
Yep, that was it. That was the one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this year it's going to be a lot bigger, and it's going to be in Krabi. Why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, so last year it was up in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is obviously where you live. It's where we had met when I was living out there. And I thought it would be obviously like the perfect place to bring everyone out to, because I know you mention it all the time. I had mentioned it a bunch, and it's a great place. I love it. But this year it was kind of like, okay, been there, done that. I know a lot of people that are going to come to this year's retreat were at last year's, and I want to give everyone a new experience. So I kind of wrestled with the idea of, should I do it in Vietnam, where I live now, or should we go back to Thailand? And if we go to Thailand, where in Thailand should it be? And with Vietnam, I love it here. I live here, but I know a lot of people that come to this are taking vacation time. A lot of people still have jobs, and they're taking maybe a week or two off, and they want to come out and have a great experience. And while Vietnam I love, and it's great for living and running a business, it's not good for a week-long retreat. So we ended up looking into our options in Thailand. Decided last year we were up north in the mountains, so this year we would bring it down to the beach. And I reached out to you because I know you've lived in southern Thailand for a while when you were a dive master, and got some great ideas. And we ended up going with Krabi just because, for the amount of people we're going to have and the kind of conference center we want, so we could all be in a classroom style setting while learning, and a place that just has a great mix of a beach and conference centers that can accommodate us all, and activities. Krabi, it ended up being the winner. So we chose it, and that's where we're going to be, October 8th through 11th this year.
Yeah, I really think Krabi is going to be the perfect place for it. Just because, so first, Thailand's the perfect place because everyone wants to come to Thailand. It's such an easy, cheap place to come. Lots of flights to get in, and if you're here for less than 30 days, you don't even need a visa. You kind of just get off the plane and just kind of pretty much walk straight in. And then if you want to stay longer, there's places like Chiang Mai that you can kind of bootstrap and meet all the other dropshippers and all the other digital nomads and entrepreneurs. Krabi, the reason why I personally like it is it's very convenient because there's an airport. So no matter where you're coming from, you can fly direct. You can fly to Krabi. So you might go through Bangkok to Krabi, Singapore to Krabi, or Malaysia to Krabi or something. But it's going to be an easy flight. And once you're there, you're like a very short taxi ride to where the hotel is going to be. And from there, what I like about it is you have two options I would recommend to people. You can either do this a few weeks before the conference, which it would be a nice way to kind of just hang out and maybe even meet up with some other people first, or definitely you could stay and do it afterwards. But go to either Koh Lanta or to Chiang Mai, and you can live super cheap. Since you're here anyways, you can work on your business. You can bootstrap. You can hang out with other members. And last year, do you remember how many people stayed in Chiang Mai afterwards?
Yeah, so many. Yeah.
It was, I think, so out of the 120 people, I think 50 people stayed. They're just like, well, you know what? I'm already here. I'm going to live here for a while. I'm making money online. Or, I have some savings so I can kind of work on my business. And there's other people here doing the same thing. Like, why not just stay?
Yeah, and I mean, it's a great opportunity. Like the last year, the way this all came about for the idea for the first retreat, again, it was a mixture of, feeling almost guilty for experiencing these things for not a lot of money, not because, oh, business is so great, I could do this, just because, the cost of life out here is so much less. And what the goal was to give everyone that same experience and really start them on this journey of true location independence. So get them out here, have them experience what it's really like, how affordable things really are, see how safe it actually is and how livable it is. And then the goal was, once people experience that, then do what you want with it. Whether you want to stay out here for a year, whether you want to go home and maybe build your business bigger so you can quit your job and come out here, whatever it may be. That was the real goal of last year's retreat, to give people a taste of this lifestyle and, actually give them like a no excuse reason to come out. We're doing this retreat. It's not expensive at all. Not only are you going to learn a ton and get to network with everyone, not only are you going to get one-on-one attention to help build your store even more, but you're going to get to network with everyone and really just learn the area and see what it's all about in person, and not do it on your own, but do it with a group of like-minded entrepreneurs and your peers basically on this journey. So that was the goal last year. That's the goal again this year. And if anyone can stay longer, I would totally recommend it. The retreat is actually 4 days in itself, but myself and my team are going to be down in Krabi at least a week early, not just to prepare things and set up, but just because it's a beautiful beach. I've been there a bunch of times already, and we're going to stay at the resort and we're going to just hang out and we're going to co-work from there and just enjoy the beach for an extra week. So if anyone wants to come down early, I mean, I'll be there. And afterwards, like Johnny said, I would highly recommend going up to Chiang Mai, because I know there'll be a huge crew up there, and it would be a great thing to be a part of if you can make that time to maybe get an extra week or two off of work, or maybe even just leave your job and give this lifestyle a try.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna do the same thing too. I'll definitely come down kind of beginning of October, just to hang out, because really, why not? It's a beautiful beach. There's internet there. You can work from there. What I might actually do is I might go to Koh Lanta a week or two before and work out of there, because there's co-working space. And then from there go up to Krabi. So if anyone wants to join for that, hit me up in the member forums of the course, and we can set that up. I mean, we can get a villa out there, because it'll be low season as well, because
yes.
I think high season doesn't start until Christmas, so we can rent a villa for probably $100 a night for like a 4-bedroom place. So that'd be sick.
It's insane, and I'm really excited about it too, because like one of the benefits of this lifestyle is you can obviously travel around a bit. You could spend longer times in different places. And Justin Cook from the Empire Flippers, who actually spoke at the retreat last year, he reached out to me because he was there last year. He knew what we did, and he wanted to know when it was going to be this year. So I told him the dates, October 8th through 11th in Krabi, and he said, "Oh, that's perfect. I'm actually planning on renting a villa somewhere in Thailand with my team and setting up shop for a few weeks before an event in Bangkok." So he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "We'll choose Krabi and we'll go get a villa down there too." So it's so cool. Like, I'll be down there with everyone I work with. He'll be down there with everyone he works with. You'll be down there. Other members will be down there. So for networking, like, there's nothing else like this happening right now. It's really like you can live in a villa or at a ridiculous resort for a low price and spend a couple of weeks just having fun and working on your business.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, if you're on a budget and you want to bootstrap, you could still find a hotel room for less than $20 a night, and you'll still be close to the beach. You won't have an ocean view, but it doesn't matter, because you can walk 5 minutes and you'll be on the exact same beach as someone paying $200 a night.
Yeah, and that's one thing we're going to set up this year, actually. So the reason we have announced the event. The dates are 100% locked in. We do have early bird registration open, but we haven't announced the actual resort yet because I'm still waiting on actually signing the contract and giving a deposit. So we know it's this one resort. We're going back and forth between two, but the place that I'm at this point 95% sure we're going to have it at, it's like it's amazing. I mean, all the rooms have amazing beach views. There's like different levels. So if you want the basic room, you still have an amazing view. You still have this beautiful scenery. And then there's, I think that one we have the discount price. It's about $40 to $50 a night, and it's a nice room. And then if you want to level up and have almost like a little apartment almost, we have those options for about $70 or $80 a night. So ridiculously affordable. And this is for a normal budget hotel. It's nice, and if you do want that budget option, it's there as well. But what we're also going to do this year is set up in our Facebook group the option to find a roommate if you want to. So if you want to rent one of their like super villas, like a 2-bedroom that costs around $100, we'll actually try to pair you up with someone or give you the option to connect with other members, so you could have one of these like basically apartments for a week for a really good price if you get a roommate. So you can have that option too if you want it. If not, rent your own, that's fine. And if you want an even better price, like Johnny said, there's plenty of hotels in the area for $15-20 a night as well.
Man, I'm actually getting excited about this just because I watched your promo video where you're basically just you kind of saying, hey, and you weren't even really trying to hype it up. You were just like, hey, these are the details. Yep. And even though I've been to Krabi, even though I've lived down the islands for so long, and even though I'm in Thailand now, I still got excited. I personally still got excited, and at that very moment, I actually signed Larissa up because I was like, she's definitely coming with me. And yeah. So. It's going to be a great vacation for me, but I genuinely really like meeting other people in person, because it's so different. Just, it's nice to talk to them online, but when you meet someone in person, especially the people who, may not live out here, that they might only be taking a week or two off of work and coming just for this, it's really exciting to meet them.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I have to remember too, because you almost get immune to things like the islands of Thailand that are gorgeous, and like the sunsets are so amazing. And once you do it a lot, I hate to say it, but you get like desensitized to it, where it kind of becomes like, yeah, this is great. But I remember, if I think back to like my first time being down there for a weekend and just seeing how clear the water is and how white the sand is and how cool even going snorkeling is and seeing what's underwater, or doing one of the treks and like just hiking up to the mountains and standing at a viewpoint and looking down on this like beautiful beach that up until the first time you do it really is only something you see in a movie or on National Geographic or something. Like that's what I try to remember now when setting this up, is that this experience is still amazing for me, but for everyone that's going to come out and visit for the first time, like literally it's out of everywhere I've been in the world, it's like the most beautiful scene you could ever see. So I'm really excited about not only going again with Johnny and everyone else that I'm friends with and everyone that I know already, but I'm really excited about everyone that hasn't experienced it yet, not only to come for the learning, which is obviously a big portion of the retreat, but to have this experience and seeing these sites that, I mean, it'll probably be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, no matter where you've been, because I can't picture anything being any better for a beach view.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And if you guys are into rock climbing, or if you've ever, just wanted to try it, Krabi is world renowned as one of the best outdoor rock climbing sites in the world, because you climb on these beautiful limestone cliffs, and you can climb straight over water and not use a rope or harness and just jump into the water afterwards, which is honestly a bit scary. I tried it. I didn't get super high. Or you can climb the normal cliffs with a rope and a harness. And to me, I actually think I don't want to say it's easier than indoor rock climbing, but to me, it feels a lot more natural. So instead of me looking for, the red hold only, I can just use my kind of natural animalistic instincts and be like, okay, what can I hold on to so I don't fall down, so I can keep going up. And the other biggest difference is when you get to the top, instead of just saying, okay, I'm up here, let me down, they remind you, they're like, no, like, look around, look, take a second to look around. And when you do, you realize you're on top of an island, and you could see the entire island from the very, very top. And it's so beautiful, and you can see the ocean for miles, and it's blue and it's clear. So that is something that I would 100% recommend to anyone who wants to try it while you're there.
Man, I'm sitting here now and I'm just smiling as you're talking about that because it sounds so amazing. But it's also like that's scary to me. I've done the indoor rock climbing where I feel safe, and I saw your photos on Facebook. I think you posted when you did, what do they call it, free climbing?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that, and that scares me. And we will have that set up this year, so that's like it's an optional activity. Basically, we're gonna have a big beach party one day. We'll have beach volleyball, we'll have snorkeling, we'll have a barbecue. So just like a fun beach party, and we'll have the rock climbing set up for those that want to do it. And I'm still like, oh, do I want to try it or not? I mean, I get nervous just hearing about it, but it does at the same time sound like such a unique experience. Like where else are you going to do that?
Yeah, definitely. So you know what? Let's both vouch to do this. Let's practice some indoor rock climbing before October. All right. So let's vow to get some sessions in so we can just feel more comfortable and get our skills back up. And we have to do it.
Oh man, I'm so scared. I'll do it.
All right.
I'll do it. But I'm like,
it's
my
on
hands
air,
are sweating now.
You have to do it.
Yeah. Like seriously, yeah, that stuff freaks me out. I've been watching some of the videos. There's the one guy that does the free climbing, not even with water under him, but he does that, and those things. Oh man, I don't even know if I'm scared of heights. I guess I am. But I'll do it. I said I'll do it. I'll do it.
All right.
Anyone else listening to this, if you want to get a big goal for yourself besides making more money at the retreat, tell yourself you'll do this now because we'll have a big crew.
Yeah, definitely. And this is one of those things where I really kind of promise you guys that one of the reasons why I'm successful with my dropshipping stores and my other businesses is because I forced myself to get uncomfortable with other challenges. There's an adventure race in the US called the Tough Mudder, where it's like a 10 or 12 mile race where you're doing all these obstacles, and it's hard. It's kind of scary, and you train for it, and you want and it's the whole time you're just worried, am I going to make it through? And once you're doing it, like, why did I sign up for this? But right afterwards you realize, hey, if I can get through this, I can call a supplier, or I can I can do anything. And it's helped me so much more in business and in life. So I do recommend every single person, that if you're even remotely interested, in something like that, set it as a goal, write it down, say, I will rock climb when I'm in Krabi, because it's a once in a lifetime beautiful experience. And the thing is, preparation, and training is really the key to success for anything. And, just like with the dropshipping store, just like with any business, if you have a good trainer, if you have someone who can give you, good attention and, show you the ropes, literally, you can do anything. So, sign up for a course and start practicing indoors.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I think I actually, within the past few days, in one of the books I was reading, I read a quote that said something like the most successful people are the ones who most often find themselves in uncomfortable situations, and it's really true. Just pushing yourself in every aspect of life. Yeah,
100%. So, aside from the rock climbing, can you kind of just go over what you have on the itinerary now? Because I know you said it's going to be October 8th through 10th. So that's how many days is that?
8th through 11th.
8th through 11th. Okay.
So it's 4. Yeah, last year it was 4 days. This year it'll be 4 days again. And we're pretty much going to follow the same format as last year because it worked. The only regret I have from last year, for anyone that was there or anyone, if you didn't go, the one thing, it was amazing. It was a million times better than I thought it could have been. We got great feedback from it. But it was a little rushed. We tried to do so much that people who flew halfway around the world and were totally off on their sleep schedules, which is totally understandable. I mean, people were exhausted. So I think on one hand, that's good because we're coming out, people are coming out there. We have 4 days. We want to do as much as possible. But at the same time, I don't want people falling asleep in the middle of the day just because they're so exhausted. And some people had to skip some of the activities just because they literally couldn't keep their eyes open. So the plan this year, on the first day, we're going to take it pretty slow. So the first day on October 8th, instead of having a full day, we're going to spend the morning just doing networking, kind of having the registration take place for the full morning. So October 8th will be a morning of check in whenever you want, have breakfast with us, have lunch with us. And then in the afternoon, we're going to do something fun. Again, a very casual day, not too much learning, more of just getting just getting settled with your surroundings and meeting everyone, instead of just diving straight into okay, we're in the classroom, let's start learning. On day 2, in the morning, we're going to have presentations and we're going to have co-working. So we wanted to have co-working last year. Unfortunately, we realized that no matter how strong in a hotel's internet is, when you get over 100 people on the same network at a time, you can't get much work done. So what we're doing this year to kind of combat that is getting a whole bunch of little hotspots. We're going to buy a ton of those 4G wireless dongles, so we'll be good. Each table should have its own connection, and no one will have internet problems if all goes to plan, which we're going to really plan for.
So what do you mean by co-working?
So what we wanted to do last year, which we didn't get to roll out, is have little sessions throughout the day, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, where we could break up the entire group into smaller groups based on different actionable things that they want to focus on. And then what we could do is have our speakers, our presenters, also myself and Laura and anyone else there that wants to help can go to these little groups and actually work with people as they work together. So let's say someone's focusing on something like Google PLA ads and they want to try to optimize them, and we just had a presentation on how to optimize them. Then instead of just being like, okay, I learned this, what we'll do is actually have co-working sessions where people can focus on this one specific thing. And then myself and other people that can help will go around and actually help you implement it on your site right away. So you'll be working with your table on one specific task, and you'll have someone there that could also assist you should you get stuck.
I think that's a great idea, and I like that a lot because it's, even though there's all the information is in your course, a lot of people just, they don't implement it until, someone specifically points it out and says like, hey, you got to do this. And, honestly, for me, when I started my store, I was the same way. I just refused to put a phone number on my store.
Right.
Until you pointed out, you're like, dude, you got to do it. And I'm like, okay. And then, that's when I made my first sale.
Nice. Yeah. And that's the goal, to really just try to push people, again, out of your comfort zones, but push people to get a lot done in a short amount of time. So anything that anyone's been struggling with or that they need help with, obviously we're always here. You can post questions on the forum 24 hours a day. You could send me an email. You could send Laura an email. But if you actually, if you're sitting next to us and you say, hey, there's this one thing I need help with, there's a good chance we could help you fix it in a minute or two. And it's a lot easier to convey that message than via email or a forum post. So it'll definitely have that one-on-one aspect of us, looking at your store, tweaking something, literally going in the back end, looking at your AdWords account when you have it pulled up, making a few changes. We'll be there to literally provide hands-on help. So that's the purpose of this co-working. So not just to sit there and have your computer open and fulfill orders and whatnot, but to have us address certain issues that you're having and be able to fix them quickly. Definitely. So we're also going to break up people. And last year, there's people that come at all different levels. Some people are just starting. Some people are making a sale now and then. Some people are making a lot of sales. This year, before the retreat actually happens, we're going to survey everyone, and we're going to ask everyone a couple simple questions. One of those questions is, what are the top 3 things you need help with? And the other question is, what are the top 3 things you can help people with? So we're going to try to pair people. So where your strengths may be, you can provide, feedback to other people, and where you need help, we'll pair you with someone that can help you with those aspects, because it will be a big group. So just to make sure everyone actually has almost an accountability partner, we're going to pair people up into groups where they can benefit each other, where they can give and take information and come out with the best results at the end of the 4 days. And not only that, but also through the networking, have someone that they can follow up with 6 months from now, a year from now, years from now. I really think one of the biggest takeaways from last year's retreat was just the networking. I see now on Facebook, I'm friends with almost everyone that went to the retreat, and anytime anyone posts anything, not about business, just about anything, all the people commenting and liking it and whatnot, they're all friends from the retreat. They're all Dropship Lifestyle people. And I just think that's the coolest thing ever. Even only the 4 days that the retreat was, there was so much networking and bonding, and these people are great friends now, and I consider myself good friends with a lot of them as well. So that's what we're trying to recreate this year, because it's just amazing.
Yeah, definitely, because it's so hard sometimes when you're back home in a normal life and everyone has the standard responsibilities and standard jobs to have the same mindset. So when you meet someone who also joined this program and also flew halfway around the world and also went through the same 4-day kind of transformational workshop, it is going to be a friend for life. Yeah,
it's a good point. Yeah.
So after the co-working, what's going to be the rest of the schedule?
Okay, so the way the mornings will work is we're going to have what will be called the co-working sessions very early. Then this one, the super early morning ones you don't have to go to, but the The workspace will be open. The tables will be set up. I'll be there. The other presenters will be there. And you can come in, set up your laptop, and kind of just ask general questions at that point, anything you need help with. Then we're going to have different speakers, and each speaker will speak on something that they specialize in. So whether it be paid traffic, whether it be web design, whatever it is, whether it be how to get approved with the top tier suppliers, whether it be even expanding beyond just drop shipping, we're going to have presentations on all of that in the morning after the first co-working session. After those presentations, we're going to have another co-working session where we can focus on what was just taught. After that, we're going to have lunch, and this is all included for everyone. Just by the way, like breakfast is included, lunch is included. We're all going to have lunch together, and then just like last year, after lunch every day, we're going to have different excursions. So we're going to be doing different fun activities together because it's Dropship Lifestyle. We have the lifestyle part. We want to go out. We want to have fun. We want to actually enjoy ourselves while we're on this beautiful island. So some of the activities we have planned for different days, we have kayaking, we have the rock climbing, we have obviously the big beach party with just volleyball and a picnic, and that's when people can do rock climbing if they want to. We have a trip up to the hot springs where we'll be trekking up there, and it's like this beautiful natural hot springs. We have a trip to a big pool one day, and there's a few other things that are in the works that I don't really want to mention yet because they're not locked in. But what was great about this year is I actually brought someone on the team to help with the retreat. So this woman named Kelly, she's been great. She's working with us here in the office here in Ho Chi Minh City, and she's been planning everything. She's in contact with all these different tourism people. So everything's going to be booked, at least a month and a half in advance, and we'll have itineraries that lock everything in. But just lots of fun beach activities and really taking advantage of all of the tourism things that we can do while on Krabi.
Yeah, I mean, I like that a lot because, when people, go to an island, to Krabi, they want to, do all the beach stuff. So I think that's going to fit absolutely perfectly,
Yeah.
And the thing is, I really like that schedule because last year it was pretty much the same schedule where it's business in the morning and then lifestyle in the afternoon, and that's pretty much the reason why a lot of us have these stores and have this lifestyle is because that's what we want. We want to be able to work hard when we work and learn from the best, really put in our best effort, and then be able to enjoy, be able to travel, be able to do these cool fun things.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't. I mean, if we were going to do just some kind of event where we came out and sat in a conference room all day and all night, then we'd probably pick somewhere like Bangkok to do it, where there's no activities and you go and there's no views and you go and you just sit in a room and work. But that's not what this is all about. That's why it's called a retreat and not just a conference, because yes, we'll be learning, yes, we'll be networking, but it's also supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a vacation for you as well. So whether you want to call it a workcation or a retreat or whatever it is, it's definitely a mixture of business and pleasure.
And remember, because this is going to be for work, you can write this off.
Definitely.
Your entire like basically your entire trip, and obviously consult your accountant with it. But from my understanding, what it is all the flights are going to be you can write it off. The actual event you can write off. Your hotel you can write off. Even if other people are staying there that aren't directly attending. So like if you're paying for the hotel room, even if you get a villa and your kids and your and your wife are going to be there, you basically you could write it off because you'd have to stay there anyways. Speaking of that, what's the deal with families? Is Krabi's a very safe and family friendly place. How's the retreat going to work for them?
Yeah, so I tell people, of course, bring your family, because again, I know that a lot of people coming out there are kind of taking vacation time. So I wouldn't want them to say, okay, bye family, I'm going to Thailand. So if you obviously can afford to, and if this is the situation you're in, I would recommend bringing your family. For the presentations, that will be for Dropship Lifestyle members only, and if you register with them, of course, you can bring your spouse, but with children for the presentations, it's not the most fun thing, so I don't think you'd want to do that. But for the activities in the afternoon, of course, we can accommodate a lot of people. We've spoke to providers that can handle almost all of us. So there is a special place to register if you're planning on bringing what we're saying is your significant other, so one other person. If you want to bring more people, so your children or whoever it may be, just go ahead and send an email to support@dropshiplifestyle.com so we can accommodate you. Because the main thing is the answer is yes, you can bring your family, and I think you should, but we just need to make sure that we can arrange it properly on our end. So just send us an email and we'll get you all set up.
Okay. So what if someone's not a a member of your course yet, and they wanted to come to this?
So the only way that you could do that now is you would have to send us an email, and you'd also have to be invited by a member of the course. So no one that's just into e-commerce or dropshipping, you can't just register and come. It is for members only. But if you're a member and you have a friend that maybe you work with or a business partner, they definitely can come. You would have to register them. But again, you would have to be connected to a member in some capacity. It's not open registration. It is for members only.
Yeah, and that definitely makes sense. I'm glad you're doing that because, one of the reasons why last year's retreat and this year's retreat is going to be so good is because it really is a community of people, that are all doing the same thing. And it's while I know it's possible for people to have their own e-commerce store, either following something else or trying to figure out on their own, the members of your course, they all have the same mindset. They all kind of know the same things, and it's really like a great community. So if you guys are at all interested in the dropship lifestyle, as in either the actual lifestyle, the retreat, or the business, I would 100% recommend signing up for the course because it's summer now. That means you have a couple months to get your store up and running, and ideally, every single person at this retreat is going to be making sales, so you can, number one, pay for the retreat with the money that you're making from your store, but second, use the information and the networking, from the retreat itself to scale it up, to really make it a work vacation and have it be worth it. So if you guys want to sign up for Anton's course, you can go to antonmethod.com, or you can follow the links either in the show notes here. It's episode 75. Or go to the recommended resources page on johnnyfd.com. And if you sign up for the course through my link, you get a $250 bonus. It's my Jumpstart course, which is basically everything that I've learned from being in his course for 2 years now and having a couple of different successful stores. And it's a pretty long course, actually. And it's really kind of helped a lot of people. Part of it's motivation, part of it is, my personal journey and timelines, including things like my tips on niche selection that, kind of are basically what Anton teaches, but just kind of like some other things that I've discovered along the way, things like what I look for when I call suppliers, and all these great things that I've been helping people with now, that either do consults with me, which I normally charge $115 an hour for, and the kind of the reoccurring questions that people always have. I decided just to make a Jumpstart course to really help everyone else out, and it's free. So if you sign up through my link, which is antonmethod.com, or on my blog johnnyfd.com, then you get both access to Anton's course and my course for basically the same price.
Yeah, highly recommend anyone that hasn't joined yet to do that. That's it's super helpful to get other people's perspectives on things too, and it's something that I actually recommend. So everyone that goes through the dropshipping course, I recommend that once you're up, once you're live, once you're profitable, then it's time to actually start increasing everything you're doing and looking for different ways to grow your business. So not only is Johnny's bonus course super helpful because it shows what else he's doing, but that's going to be a big focus on the retreat this year too. So we're going to have everyone that speaks is going to be someone that has experience with dropshipping specifically, but also that are doing things maybe a little bit differently, or that just have their own takes on things. So the core of this all is the business model taught in the course, which I don't think anyone should deviate from until they're profitable. But then we're going to have these presentations about what to do then, how do you expand, what else have people tried, what works, what doesn't work. So there's just so much value there. And if you want to get access to something like that even sooner, like Johnny said, it's in his bonus. So make sure to sign up through there.
Yeah, definitely. So kind of a sneak peek of what I think my talk might be about. So for the last 2 years, I've always focused on selling to retail customers, just people, So, people, what do they need to buy for their house? And I think I did that because it made a lot of sense to me, because I'm like, well, when I lived in a house, or if I want to buy a house, like what do I need? What do I need to buy? But recently, I've been really focusing on kind of the business to business side of it. I'm thinking, businesses have a lot more money. They can order, multiple quantities or bigger items, and it's a different process sometimes, but using kind of the same principles, and now that I have my store up and running, and I'm getting consistent sales now for 2 years with kind of home buyers. Why not also try to get the business side? And I'm very, very excited. Today was the very first day ever that I've gotten more than $10,000 in sales.
What? Congratulations, man!
Yeah.
Awesome.
And a lot of it was from one order. So I woke up, and on my phone I had I think it was a $1,200 order, and I was ecstatic. So I'm so happy, because that's a big day for me. And when I checked my email, I saw that the store that me and Larissa run, which for whatever reason my phone doesn't send notifications for, so I have to check my email for, there was a single order for $12,900.
Wow. Clap.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm so excited about that, because that's just like a new way to just scale business. And Larissa's actually still sleeping right now because she's in South Africa and the time zone's different. So I'm so excited for her to wake up and be like, and call me and be like, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah. Why is that peak so high on my order graph?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited, and this kind of just shows how much dropshipping evolves, because from 2 years ago, until now, little things you just keep tweaking it, and I think that's why it's so important. I think it's so cool, number one, that you keep updating the videos, because when I first joined your course, the 8 core modules was really all I needed.
Yep.
And I really still believe that till this day, you can still just follow those 8 core videos and you can have a successful store. But at the same time, in those last, couple of years, there's also been so many new ways to advertise, so many new channels to sell on, so many new little, plugins and apps that you can install and kind of just make your store better and be able to sell more. And, these are things that people talk about at the retreats.
Yes, exactly. And I'm totally with you. I still think that the core modules, what's so great about them is that they just get down to like the root of the business and how it works. So that's very important for someone that has no e-commerce experience or that has been doing e-commerce but not making money with it. So in those, it's like basically a fundamentals course. So it's a great way to wrap your head around this and how it works. But then from there, like you said, there's so much room for improvement and updating. And once you have like basically the 101 level knowledge, then it's time to scale up. 101 can get you profitable, but then beyond that, that's where like the limitless opportunities come in. It's what you do after that. So that's why there's new videos added all the time to Dropship Lifestyle in the members area. That's why things like our forum are so important, where people are posting every day. That's why things like the live event, where you can not only connect with others and hear what they're doing, but also listen to presentations and get involved in these little mastermind groups. That's why that stuff is so important. That's what's going to take you from having a small profitable store to something that could really scale.
Yeah, and if anyone thinks that $1,000 is a lot to join the course, there's so much value inside the course and inside the community, inside these events, that it is easily worth double that. And I'm just going to predict that it's going to be double that by this time next year. So if you think it's expensive now, don't wait longer, because I have a feeling it's going to go up again.
Yeah, when people it's not often, but I do occasionally get emails when people say, "Hey, why is it so much money?" And I've said this before that I do think it's underpriced. But let me just explain it this way. Johnny, like your store in sales, what has it done? Your main store in the past 2 years?
In the past 2 years, I think it was definitely over $250,000.
Yeah, so like over $250,000 on that one store. And like Johnny, he does great, and it's amazing that he posts about it. But like there are so many people that have been through the course that are in situations like this, and their stores are doing 6 figures a year in sales, and they're making thousands of dollars every month in profit, or even the ones that are making $1,000 a month in profit, or even the ones that are only making $500 a month in profit. Like it's $1,000 for the course. And if you think it's too much money, in my opinion, that means that you're not going to do anything with it, and you're going to buy it and watch the videos and not build a business. But if you are at all serious about this, and you're going to buy it, and you're going to follow along, and you're going to tell yourself that, yes, I'm going to make this work, then the price is going to be recouped in literally no time, and it'll be recouped many times over for years to come.
Yeah, I think of it as like an investment. So like, let's say I buy, I want to buy something that can get me 10% interest a year. Let's say I have a couple $1,000s, and I'm like, okay, if I want to get 10% a year, how can I do that? I can't do that in a bank anymore. You would get, less than 1%. You can try to buy, stocks with it, or you can try to buy a house or something. And the thing is, at best, you can kind of hope for, maybe in a year, I'm going to make 10% back. So it's going to take me 10 years to make back my investment. And for a lot of people, that's okay, but with a dropshipping store, you can literally make back 100% of your investment in a couple months. And as long as you actually follow the system, that happens to the majority of people who, if you actually follow the system, it'll happen to you in a few months. So instead of waiting 10 years to get your money back, or let's say even 5 years, you get your money back in the first couple months, and now you have reoccurring, you have basically 100% interest now for, every month for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's really insane. Like, so some other guy emailed me about that, and some finance guy who's in the course, he's doing over $75,000 a month now on his dropship store, which is amazing. Like, I'm super proud of him, and he's making a lot of money a month. And I was like, oh, that's great. Like, what's your plan? Are you gonna start importing? You're gonna build your own brand now? What's gonna happen? And he's like, no, I'm just gonna keep it as is. I'm not gonna quit my job or anything. And this guy is making a lot of money. But that's what else I wanted to mention with something like this. Like, you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to he's making so much of a return on this $1,000 investment that it's like he gave himself basically a raise of 100% by building this business in his spare time, that even at this scale he's not going to quit his job. So it's amazing. Think of it as giving yourself a raise for $1,000. You invest it, you can make it back however many times over you want to.
Yeah, it's a million percent. And you know what? It's work to set up. I mean, it took me 2 months of hard work to set up my first store, and it took me almost 2 months to set up my second store. But you know what? It's worth it, because if I can make, close to $1,000 in profit a day on a good day, or let's say $100 on a not so good day, that is money that I never would have had if I didn't set this thing up.
Exactly. Yeah. So just to get back to it, it's $1,000. I'm not saying $1,000 isn't a lot of money. $1,000 is a lot of money, but for what you get, it's not. So it's all relative. $1,000, yes, it's a lot of money, but for what you're getting, it's not in the situation. So if it's too much for you, I do understand. And I tell people all the time also that literally I'll get emails sometimes and people will tell me, I don't have the money. And I'll say that, that's fine. I'm not hard selling you. And what I recommend then is to go through the free material that we put out, get on our newsletter email list, because we do send out valuable information. And if you don't have the money yet, then I'd recommend going through the free content, getting yourself set up, and then once you make enough money, reinvest it in the course. If you do have the money, obviously the course is I'd say the quickest path to sales. But if you're not there yet, go through the free stuff too.
Yeah, definitely. And but write it down as a goal. Don't just say, "Oh, I can't do it." Ask yourself, "How can I do it?" And say, "How
Yes.
how can I save up $1,000?" And just write it down. Just to say, like, by in the next 3 months, I would like to be able to save the $1,000, and I'm gonna do that by eating at home. I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna spend any money on alcohol. I'm gonna walk to work. I'm gonna take the bus to work. And save money on gas. I'm gonna just basically do whatever it takes. Or I'm gonna get a side another part-time job, or I'm gonna freelance online. There's so many different ways to generate $1,000. And then once you do, then you can say, okay, now I'm gonna work my butt off for this course to make that first $1,000 back. Then the next goal is, okay, now I want $1,000 a month.
Yep.
And this is 100%. Doable, and the reason why I know that is because I met all these people at last year's retreat who's been doing it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because that's literally how I came up in business, and was starting to save money and just hustling any way I could and saving where I could. And I'm sure there are some people listening to this yeah, I could do that, but I'm sure the majority are you kidding me? No way. But I mean, if anyone cares for what it's worth, that is what makes people successful versus not successful. Are you willing to put in that extra work, especially up front, to give yourself a chance in the future? The hardest thing for us to do as humans is to delay gratification. So to not spend that money now, to not get the new toy, to not go to the bar, that's the hardest thing we can do. But that's how you could be successful, by delaying gratification, because you're working towards something bigger.
Yeah, and I'm delaying gratification every day now. I mean, I'm living in a pretty nice place here in Chiang Mai, but I could be living in a much more expensive place, or I can be living back in the U.S. and I could buy a house, now. But I figured, what? I'm going to delay that gratification. I'm going to keep, working hard and putting work and saving. I'm literally saving more than 90% of what I'm making every month, which is insane.
Wow.
Because most people, they save, they try to save, I think people try to save 10% of their income, but in reality, a couple $100 here and there, and over the course of the year, they might save up a couple $1,000s. But because my cost of living is so low here, and I keep scaling my business, keep scaling my income, I'm literally saving like $5,000 to $10,000 a month just into my bank account, which is insane. I never thought that was gonna be possible.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but it's so true. Like the more money you make, the easier it becomes to save. If you could manage your lifestyle the same, like if you're listening to this now and let's say you have a job and you're making a good salary and you're happy with it, but you're not saving money, maybe you're saving that 5 or 10%. If you could give yourself a $10,000 a year raise in the low end, maybe that'll be your new profit from your e-commerce store, or maybe it'll be 20,000 or 30,000. Like if you're comfortable with where you are now with your finances, and you could just save it all, just think about where that will leave you in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years when you're ready to retire. It's insane.
Yeah, actually, so I'm not very good at buying birthday presents, just because I always feel like pressured, and I don't know what to get someone, So when it was kind of time for my sister's birthday, and then I have my niece and my nephew, and I'm like, I don't know what to send them, and I was gonna send them some chocolates, or I was gonna send them, something stupid, right? Like I was like, oh, should I send them like a necklace or something from Amazon? And there was nothing I wanted, and I felt like, number one, it was a complete waste of money, and then second, it was just kind of like stressful to me. And what was really funny was I was looking at like a little necklace for my niece, and I was like, should I send this to her? Like, I don't know if she'll like it. And it was like $50, and I was like, well, there's this $100 one that'd be better. And then I was like, I'm not gonna spend my money on that. It's such a waste. So instead, I ended up spending $2,000 buying them some stocks in
Wow.
It's ETF, which is basically the whole stock market, some index funds. And I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna put this in their name, and this is gonna be their birthday present, kind of, for until I feel like I need to buy them another one. Then I'm just gonna put more money into this, because they're 2 and 5 right now, or 2 and 6 right now, and I figured by the time they're 25, or like let's say whenever they want to buy a house, that's gonna be worth so much money.
Yeah, that's probably the best gift you could have ever got them. Like for a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old, what else are they going to keep for more than a year before they break it or outgrow it? That's perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, it's delay. First off, it's delay. I'm forcing them to delay gratification, because I'm not going to even give now. I'm teaching them. I'm like really like teaching them something, because I'm just going to remind them, like, especially when they get old enough where they actually start noticing caring, and they start asking, like, hey, how come Uncle Johnny never buys me any presents? I'm just going to, maybe I'll send him like a screenshot or something every year and say, like, look, this is how much money you have now.
Yep.
And I really think it's going to be a great lesson, but it's awesome for me, because I never would have been able to splurge on a gift like this if it wasn't for this income, and now my mindset has completely changed. I'm like, first off, I'm happy investing in something, putting $2,000 into something I know it's going to be worth more money down the road. And also, instead of buying, like, let's say the latest toy, or the latest, or jewelry, or something that's not really, worth anything, I'm like, let me buy an investment. And that's what this course has been to me. And this is what buying, like, these index funds are to me as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me. I know you've been investing for a little while now, and I'm excited to see how it works out for you. And I haven't, you've given me some advice. I actually haven't followed it yet. I haven't been investing in myself as much as I probably should, but I really love that new mindset you have. I mean, you're putting your money to work for sure.
Yeah, I love it. And if it wasn't for for signing for your course 2 years ago, I actually just pulled up my first sale, because I'm gonna write a blog post. If you go to johnnyfd.com, and you can see my first $10,000 day of sales. I'm gonna put a screenshot of my first sale ever, which was July 25th, 2013. So that was actually less than 2 years ago.
Yep.
And that sale was for $456, and I was so excited that I got that. Like, I don't know. Do you remember, like, me telling you how excited I was?
Yeah, I do.
And
yeah, it's the best feeling ever. Yeah.
And now, like, literally less than 2 years later, I woke up, and instead of having a $400 sale, I have a $13,000 sale. I mean, it's $12,939.90.
Such a huge milestone. It's ridiculous. Yeah, those 5-figure days feel good.
Oh my God. Yeah, and there's that song, like, made a G today, didn't even have to use my 8K. That's going to be the theme song of the day.
Oh, man. Is it made a G today, but it didn't have to make it in a sleazy way? I know that one.
Yeah, maybe that too.
Yeah.
And what's nice about, these stores is I'm providing a legitimate service to to my customers. They're buying a product that I'm an authorized dealer for. They're getting it shipped straight from the manufacturer, so I'm cutting out the middleman. They're getting the best possible deal. They're getting full manufacturer's warranty. They're getting free shipping. They're getting good customer service because I've hired a great customer service person in the U.S. that answers the calls from 7 to 7 every day, and then I reply to emails from their time, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So literally, they have someone 24 hours a day that can help them, and I don't think any other company would do that.
That might be why you got that big sale. That might be why they chose you. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's awesome. So for this retreat, if someone's already a member of your course, how can they sign up?
You could post a link under, because the link will change. Right now, there's a special early bird promotion going on until we get the first 70 people to register. We have about 30 so far at the time we're recording this. So the early bird will be going on for a little bit longer. But yeah, you could post the link up under this since it will change.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a registration link. And as soon as you register, you'll get put on the email list so we can send you an itinerary as soon as it's ready. And you'll also get added to our private Facebook group for everyone that's attending the retreat, just so you could start networking and planning for everything now.
Okay. No, I tell you what. So instead of me posting a link, that's going to change, and having a ton of people who may not be already a part of the course, try to sign up and then get rejected for it. Go ahead and send out an email blast to everyone who's already a member, and then post a link. You already have a link in the private member forums. So
yeah, so that's the best way. Just log into the forum and you'll see it there.
Yeah, so let's do that. And then if you're not yet a member, if you want to join, you can either go to antonmethod.com, or if you want to make sure that you don't spell it incorrectly or anything, just go to johnnyfd.com, resources, click any of the banners, and then you're going to get access to both Dropship Lifestyle and my my Jumpstart course for free.
Yes.
And then you'll get a link to sign up. Actually, so the cost of the retreat, this is going to be 4 days. It's a big conference. So the conference, a conference like this is normally, I think, like $700 or $800, maybe $1,000. And the activities, how much extra are they going to be? Or are they going to be included?
Yeah, no, we're including everything, literally. So you're gonna have the not only the conference in the morning, not only breakfast, not only lunch. You're gonna have all of the afternoon excursions included, the food in the afternoon when we do these parties, when we have the bars open. We're gonna have 2 different nighttime parties on the beach with bands, live bands. We're gonna have food at a couple of those too, and that's all included. And I said it last year, I'm not doing this to make really money. Like last year, I actually lost a lot of money on it, but this year we're that's why I have someone to help me with the pricing and whatnot to coordinate it. But yeah, for the early bird price that we have right now, you get all of that for just $297, and that's for all 4 days. That includes everything.
I think that's fantastic, because people would easily pay literally double for that and not expect to be fed. But my favorite thing about you providing breakfast and lunch is I think it's so valuable for people to sit down and network over a meal. And not have everyone, first off have to leave the resort and try to find food, because that's a big waste of time. But second, it's such an easy way to just, sit down with different people every day and just get to know them.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I was down there. I saw you down there in the mornings, and it's really cool. You sit at a random table, and you know that the people that are sitting next to you are, again, on that same journey as you, and it's just a great way to connect and network on a very personal level.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to all the activities, and then the parties and the barbecues as well. I'm so, Anton, I really am so grateful to be part of this community, and I'm happy to be one of the first members and kind of one of the more vocal members and helping it grow, because it is seriously transformed. I mean, it is not only transformed the course itself, but it's transformed so many lives. It's transformed my life, and now it's just growing into this behemoth. I mean, what do you see as the couple 3 or 5 year future of Dropship Lifestyle?
Yeah, I think as long as things change in business, as long as we keep the online membership area up to date, and it's just focused on what's working now, and it's still giving people opportunity and still changing people's lives, and I don't see it stopping at all. I mean, it's just been amazing, and it's been a fun ride. And you should link some of these under this podcast also. We just had a whole new batch of testimonial videos come in from members, and there's 20 of them from people, most of them I've never even heard from before, and they sent in these testimonial videos that are so amazing about how their lives have changed since joining and whatnot. And when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, yeah, this course isn't going anywhere. So it'll continue to be updated. It'll continue to just grow as our community grows, and it's not stopping anytime soon, as long as it's changing people's lives.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a blog post and just embed all the videos, into one place. You can see kind of just this massive community of people who are in this, and most people I have not met, in person. And what's really cool is, even though I was the first person with the progress thread on the forums, so I was like, and it was really just for myself. I was like, let me just keep a personal, diary of what I'm doing. Now there's literally hundreds of progress threads I can follow. I can see how people are doing, and it's so cool just looking back at it.
Yeah, so I mean, and I love that you started that thread because it really has changed the forum. Instead of just a place for questions, now it's a place for questions and progress updates. So that was so cool that you started that, and that other people just started to follow. But what we're working on now, actually, Kelly, who's new on the team, not only is she planning the retreat, but she's working with a few different people right now that are going to totally change up our forum, so it could be kind of segmented better. So we could have a whole discussion where you could just literally track people's progress, and then we'll have a niche selection section and a market research section and a web design section and a getting approved the supplier section and a traffic section and an optimization section. So it's going to look totally different. But yeah, these progress threads and just the amount of content and just valuable stuff that's on the forum, I think that's where 80% of the value of the course comes in. The forums are amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because the videos itself, you might just watch it once, set up your store, but the forums is what you're going to go to, basically, day after day. I mean, I'm on the forums every single day. Every time I log in, I actually learn something, even though I've been doing this for so long, because there's, tons of other people doing the research and, figuring things out. And what I do like is not only does dropshipping still work today, and there's always going to be people, that are going to think, I wish I got it 2 years ago. I wish I got it 4 years ago. And the thing is, maybe you should have gotten the first time you heard about it, but you can't change that now. Get into it because it still works, and it's always going to work. I really, now more than ever, I genuinely believe it's always going to work because there's always new platforms, coming out. Everyone thinks that Amazon is this, 8,000-pound gorilla, and it is, but what's crazy is new, places to advertise, new places to shop are popping up all the time. And this just opens up new channels for everyone who's dropshipping because people are always going to buy stuff. And I really think that, people having retail stores and, little warehouses are really going to be a thing in the past. So I really think that things are going to move more and more online. And this is the perfect place to be.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with things changing with the way it works. And like you said, people say they wish they would have joined last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I've been doing this for 8 years. I wish I started 20 years ago when I was in middle school, but I didn't, and I'm still successful. And when I put up new businesses today, they're still successful, and there's more ways to grow them than ever. And like you said, things in businesses change, businesses get competitive, but new opportunities are available every day. The people that started advertising on AdWords when it was the first thing just absolutely just killed it. When Facebook ads first rolled out, if you got in early, you were the best. With Twitter ads, when they started rolling out their platform, it was just unreal. Same thing with other platforms like Pinterest marketing. There's always new technologies to really cash in on, and even once the other ones may seem saturated, it doesn't mean people still aren't making money with AdWords. It doesn't mean people still aren't making money with Facebook or Twitter or whatever else it may be. It just means that there's always new opportunity, and the old ones, once they're proven, you could still get them to work. So don't worry about competition. I say it all the time. If you find a niche or a product to sell where there's no competition, it's for a reason. It's because no one wants to buy it, or it's a terrible product, or it's too small of a niche. If you can't find competition, then you're not going to be successful. So don't worry about it.
I love it. So you guys have a couple months, basically starting now, you have more than enough time to get started with your store, so sign up for Anton's course, go through all of it. And I would say for the majority of people that I've met, it takes them about 2 months to go from just starting out to making their first sale. And you can absolutely 1,000,000% wholeheartedly make your first sale before the retreat. And once you're at the retreat, you're going to have so much new knowledge and inspiration, and friends, and you're really going to just scale it up. So, whether, if you haven't started, I honestly have it be your goal. Say before before the retreat, I want to make, not only I want to have a sale, in my first sale, I want to make enough money for my store to pay for the course back and for the retreat and for the flight to Thailand. And I really think, because right now it's the mid-June.
You have about 4 months.
You have 4 months. Oh man, the first month, all right. So it took me, for me personally, and this is kind of most people I've met, it takes about 2 months to get your store up and running. And then on your third month, I made $1,000. And then on my fourth month, I made $2,000. So that's $3,000, which easily pays for basically the course, the flight to Thailand, the retreat, and some spending money. And you have a store that you can scale up.
Yeah, and you should make that amount or more every month following that. So there's plenty of time, there's plenty of opportunity, and if anyone wants to join, just go ahead and do it. Don't wait any longer if you're serious about this. If you want to be part of this, if this retreat sounds good to you and you want to join, just do it. Like there's no reason to wait. Just sign up if you know this is for you.
All right, so I'm looking forward to everyone being out there. If you want to sign up, go into either look at the email that Anton sent all the members, or go into the private member forums and register there. If you haven't signed up, go to my blog, johnnyfd.com, and under the recommended resources, you can sign up for Anton's course there. And man, I'm excited to meet everyone personally out there. For everyone who's already signed up, keep an eye out for the private Facebook group that's going to be set up for just members that are going to retreat, and we're going to figure out how we can all meet up and hang out before and after the retreat, because it's going to be a blast. Last year 50 people stuck around in Chiang Mai. I have a feeling this year is going to be exactly the same as well. So get ready, like seriously, some 120 people plus are going to come, and lives are going to change.
Yeah, no, totally. Everything you said, I'm right with you, and I'll just repeat it. Come out. I can't wait to meet everyone. Last year, I met so many cool people that I became friends with, and can't wait to have that same experience again. So if you can come out early, come out early. If you can't, come out for the 4 days, and it'll be like nothing you've ever experienced before. So come out there, enjoy it. Johnny, thanks again for announcing this with me. This has been fun, and congratulations to you again for 10K plus in sales in a day. Amazing, huge milestone, and hopefully you'll hit many more of those before the retreat.
Definitely. All right, everyone, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Travel Like a Boss podcast. If you want to hear more, including the bonus How to Choose the Perfect Niche episode, join our mailing list at travellikeabosspodcast.com. See you next week, and remember, if you want to travel like a boss, you need to be your own boss. So start your online business today and start living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of.